Hey everyone, Attorney Scott Kalish here. Today I want to talk to you about whether or not you will have to pay for your wife's attorney's fees as part of your divorce case. Now, this is a question that comes up from time to time. People are concerned, that they're going to have to pay double the amount of fees during their divorce case. Now, I want to walk you through the scenarios where it could happen, where it couldn't happen, and I want to explain to you how this question is answered and how a judge ultimately decides this issue, okay? So let's jump right in. So the first question that has to be answered is, can your wife prove that she has a need for attorney's fees? And what is need based on? How does a judge determine whether or not there's a need? Well, it depends on what part of the state you live in. In one part of the state, courts look at or can look at and can consider whether or not there's a big disparity in income. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, does one person make, let's say, $10 million and one person make, $200,000? In that scenario, even though the person that makes $200,000 a year can pay for their own fees, the court might look at the person that has $10 million and that makes $10 million a year. They're just in a better position to pay everyone's fees. That's one part of the state, right? In other parts of the state, it's not determined like that, and it's not considered like that. Essentially, a judge looks at an actual need. Is a person, just not able to pay for an attorney during a divorce case? And that's all that's considered in terms of need. And that's the first question that a judge is going to look at, whether or not your wife can prove that she has a need for attorney's fees. The second thing that she has to prove is that you have the ability to pay. Now, what do I mean by ability to pay? Well, do you have sufficient income to pay for your fees and your living expenses as well as her attorney's fees? Okay, and a court can look at it in addition to income, whether or not you have other assets that could possibly be liquidated and used for her attorney's fees, right? When can this pop up? Well, it can pop up in the beginning of a case, it can pop up, in the middle of a case, or it can pop up at the end of a case. Sometimes it never pops up at all because, you guys reach a resolution and it just doesn't come into play and it's not a factor and everyone's, able to, negotiate this issue away. But it can happen. So that's basically what you need to look out for, and you got to determine whether or not she's going to have a need and whether or not she's going to be able to prove that you have the ability to pay. Okay, that's pretty much what you need to know in terms of attorney's fees in divorce cases. If you have any questions about attorney's fees or divorces in general, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help. Thanks and have a great day.